Hello plant community, thanks for tuning into this channel. My name is Pam, and as you guys can see from what you've seen with the thumbnail and the preview, that we're in a different area today. And we're actually outside on one little corner part of my deck here. And I wanted to bring you guys along as I do a repotting of one of the plants. And now we're going to talk a little bit about how I plan on transitioning some of my plants into the home. So let's jump right into it. Okay guys, so really quick, I'm out here and I have my table, and I'm sorry you guys, you probably won't be able to see the table, but one of the plants that I want to mess with today, and we'll talk a little bit about all these other plant babies that's in the back really quick, is actually my money plant, my Pachura aquatica. One of you guys in the beginning of this growing season made a mention of, hey, to kind of like put this plant outside to encourage growth. And since I've done it in this growing season, it has pushed out some beautiful growth. These leaves right here have become absolutely massive, and I'm very grateful for that, because this plant really didn't have any more leaves left. And as you can see, these three grew. So one of the things that I want to, this is my first time, you guys, if you've been watching my channel, my first time of actually me putting my plants outside. Some of them I wanted to test the water out and see if it's going to encourage growth, if they would actually grow a little bit more. And I've definitely seen some changes. So now we're about ramping up in the beginning of September now. As we start approaching fall, now it's time for me to start getting my plants acclimated for bringing them back into the home. Is this a etched in stone type of moment where everything that I'm going to do is right? Probably not. This is my first time doing it. I'm not too familiar with it. I'm doing certain things that I feel would be best for me. So everything that I'm saying, guys, you could take it as a grain of salt. If you pull any ideas from it, great, because that's basically why I'm doing this video to begin with. So one of my main problems or my main concerns that I feel that I'm going to stay on top of as far as bringing my plants indoors is actually making sure that I'm not introducing any type of pest into my home, or any type of pest. Don't matter, whatever's inside out here, I want to make sure it stays out here. One of the things that I've noticed with this particular plant, and I want to show you guys the soil here. I had issues earlier on in the beginning of the growing season with ants in regards to the soil. So one of the things that I do want to do is check the soil of my plants. But I'm going to actually pot this one up, and I think also check the conditions of the root system as well, because even though this plant has like supposed to be 4 or 5 stems braided, it's actually just one stem. So I'm looking at the base right now, and it looks like this one may have rotted. So I believe I need to get some shears. I didn't realize that, so I'll be right back. So as I said, I didn't want to introduce any new pests. So I know that I had some issues with this one. So one thing that I do want to do is I want to inspect my soil of each plant. But I'm starting with this one first, or my known one, because this one was probably more exposed than the other. And I want to more or less just get rid of all the soil here and just put fresh soil. And this time, because it's a possibility that I may be dealing with pests, you guys, y'all have watched me do a lot of other videos where I was hands-on. I didn't really have my gloves, but today I feel it fitting to actually wear gloves as a protective measure to myself as well, and to get down dirty into it. So I actually have my mat down here. I already have like my pre-mixed soil, which is basically potting mix, cacti soil. I have a little bit of orchid bark. I actually have some leca balls in here, as well as some perlite to make it a little bit airier. So I do apologize that you guys won't be able to see what I'm doing. And from what I can see right here, this plant does not have, if it is a root system there, you guys, it must be very fine. I don't really see it. I don't know. But like I said, this thing, one time when I watered it, you guys, it was just so many ants was coming out of it. I said, oh no, I can't have that going on. So I want to change out the soil. So that's the first thing. Well, one of the things actually before this, I would say right now for about the past 2 weeks or so, you guys, I've been kind of trying to cleanse the soil when I water it. And what do I mean by cleansing the soil? Like I said, please take this as a grain of salt. So when I prepare my water, I usually have between 4 or 5 gallons of water in my house that's already pre-prepared, whether it's fertilized water or just other things going on in the water. So what I did was I decided to go ahead and make, what's that called, a mosquito bit tea. I believe I got the idea from Ashley Anita's channel where she actually shows us how to make the tea. So if any of you guys is actually interested in watching that, please look her up and put that in the search engine and the video should come up. But I actually got that idea. So I made some mosquito bit tea, and in the actual gallon ratio, you guys, I added, for me, I added, I want to say about 2 capfuls of peroxide. Um, I didn't want to be too heavy-handed with it because I don't know how the peroxide will damage, if they will do anything to the roots. I do believe that they add some form of like oxygen and air to the roots. I'm not 100% sure. But I did do that because I wanted to try to clean the soil out. I think for the most part, the majority of my plants, the smaller ones, will be fine because the other ones was basically, like in a cash po type of pot, and so I don't think a lot of pests. And then I have it like on this my little metal shelving thing that similar to the ones I already have in the sunroom, and so I don't think they really were getting. I haven't had any issues. I don't think seen any issues with pests, and also too, I've been actually having my friends, the spiders out here, that's been kind of like creating webs around my plant. So in hindsight, they've been kind of like protecting my plant. Yeah, and I don't know what's going to be the story of this plant, you guys, because I'm actually breaking up a lot of, I think, roots with this. And I'm actually going to have to, so this is what they did. They kind of like, I didn't realize that. You see this? I'm going to cut that, and I'm actually going to have to get rid of some of these. Like I said, it rotted off, and that's fine. Cut that and unwrap that. Maybe, I don't know, who knows, maybe that could have been one of the reasons why my plant was declining inside. I don't know. Can't really speak to it. Then they also had this, like, so I'm gonna unloosen this so I can just get rid of some of the dead stems. Another thing that I've been doing too in preparation, so basically, let me go back to the watering of the soil. So I use mosquito bit tea, put 2 capfuls of peroxide in my water, and I've been kind of like just watering my plants like that. My goal is to help hopefully just cleanse the soil as much as I can, because I do not plan on repotting. I don't know if I actually plan on repotting any of my plants. If anything, I may do is just inspect the soil and refresh it if need be. But this one, because I knew that this plant had issues with the ants and things, and it is in this peat moss like mix, and I've never changed the soil out on this. I just decided to go ahead and look. It did definitely rot. You see where it's actually mushy, so I'm just going to actually completely just do away with this altogether as far as the pieces that has completely rotted off. There's no need to keep dead plants. Yeah, this is just a mess. And so if it's one stem, it's just one stem. You know, hopefully the plant will be able to survive. If not, because if I don't take it out, see, look at that, it just completely broke off. If I don't take it out, it's just more or less just going to spread to the plant, and then I'll have just a, yeah, I'm just going to take, yeah, actually all of them that did not have any life to it just completely rotted off, and which is fine. So now I'm just left with this root ball, which I am going to keep, and that's fine. And so from what I can see, my gut is saying, okay, see how it is like this? My gut is saying do not mess with this because the roots are fine and I don't want to make it any worse. I know I broke up a lot of roots trying to get to this, but it had to be done. So yeah, but I'm feeling the stalk. It feels firm. It doesn't feel squishy. I'm smelling the soil, you guys, because you do want to smell it to see if you smell any rot. I don't really smell any odor coming from it, so I think it's fine. Well, at least I hope it is. You know, we never really know until we actually go through the changes with our plants, right? So I'm just going to put some fresh soil in here. I'm not upsizing it or anything like that. I'm putting it back in its original pot. And yeah, so I decided to just go ahead and keep watering my plants continuously until it's time for me to actually bring it into my plants into the house using that solution. And I'm thinking that that will help keep, you know, keep watch of the soil. My next thing that I've been doing as well is actually using my insecticidal soap. I've been spraying my plants down kind of vigorously, honestly, you guys. I give it insecticidal soap. I usually wait about 5 minutes, then I come back out and I spray them down with water. I just want to make sure that the leaves are also free of any pests and debris, or, you know, just anything dangerous that can potentially infect the rest of my plants. Yeah, so I'm not going to disturb the root ball. I'm just going to plop it up. And then what I'm going to do too, because it does have drainage holes, and I think that was one of the issues. Some of my planters I was just putting out here with just a drainage hole, and it was just holes where it was able to, where other little pests can actually easily get into the plant soil that way. So, you know, you live and you learn. And so I've kind of like had put, after I realized that it had a lot of ants in it, I kind of put this planter into a cache pole to kind of protect or prevent certain things from climbing in it, or it'll be a little bit more challenging, not so easy for them to actually climb in it. And even though I'm changing the potting, I'm not going to give it a drink, and the reason why is because the night before last we had a beautiful, good, nice rain, and they got some nice rainwater, and so I really want it to dry out and not give it any water. Another thing I'll probably do too before I bring my plants back inside is cut and remove any dead leaves, because you want to get rid of dead leaves anyway, is my understanding, you guys, because they can have pests actually hiding underneath of those dead leaves as well. So let me see. So now I got it filled up, and I'm just trying to press along the edges to maintain it. And so I'm just gonna, doesn't have a hole and it's just decoration, and I'll just sit it in like this. It's also good for me to put it in here too, you guys, because the plant is kind of top heavy. And honestly, you guys, I'm not even joking when I say this, but the area where I live at, the ecosystem here is absolutely wild, you guys. And the winds are just ridiculous. So, you know how I chopped up my calathea or bifolia. I'm going to chop the dead leaf off of here, and I'm going to show you all the stem. And hopefully while I have it out here for a couple of weeks, I just got rid of it. It's hideous, you know, what's the point? And since I cut it, it kind of like made the plant look a little bit better. Just that one. You see, it's not that big of a specimen, which is fine. I'm just appreciative that it just grew what it grew. And you know what, I'm looking at it right now, and I actually see, that's what I had my spider friends creating webs around it. So I know one thing, before I also bring it in the house, all my plants in the house, I'm going to inspect it for spider webs as well and try to remove them. Now, really quick, you guys, that's pretty much the only work that I wanted to do as far as my plants. But since we're out here, I want to actually clean up my mess first. Okay, so now that I cleaned up a bit, this portion of the video is going to be able to show you guys an update of what my plants are doing. I'm super excited, you know, because of these new growths that I've seen. I'm feeling confident and comfortable enough for next growing season to bring these plants back outside. So I just want to show you a couple of them that I am really proud of that made a tremendous comeback. First one, well, not really a comeback, but this one right here, I wanted to point this out because of the beautiful sun stressing. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is my Hoya Sunrise, and it's grown I think very quick, because like I said, keep in mind this is in a 2-inch planter, but I'm really loving this plant because of the beautiful pink hues that it is getting. So I'm super excited. So maybe next growing season I can do some propagation to try to make it fuller, and we just go from there. This other plant, you guys, was completely just down to one leaf, and it was a dead, dried, shriveled leaf, and I decided to bring this plant outside. And once I did, and the leaf had died off, it kind of started growing. So it hasn't really been out here that long. It's been out here probably for about 6 weeks, but I've seen changes. And this is my philodendron Sancta Martinis. It doesn't look like much, but honestly, you guys, I cut this portion off, and I have it propagating, or I'm trying to propagate, and it's been in water for like 2 months, and it has not grown. So I'm not really confident that I'll be able to save any of the leaves that was on this plant. It was only just one leaf, and then this little leaf right here, the big leaf finally just turned yellow and died off. But in the midst of it, it did grow this beautiful leaf right here. So I'm super excited. Of course, I think this one came, but this one, look how shiny and healthy it is. So it's really loving it. And the good part about it is it also has another new growth right here. So I'm hoping that maybe another leaf can actually come out of this plant before I actually bring it back into the house. Another one that's this plant made a complete comeback, although I'm kind of not too excited about what it's going to do when I bring it in. And that's just my Ficus benjamina. Pretty much it's came back completely full. Thank you for whoever gave me the tip about putting it outside. I did just that. That was my last, I guess, last chance to bring it back. And when I did bring it out here, lo and behold, the leaves came out. Now, what will this plant look like in the fall? Probably a hot mess. It's probably going to fall leaves. You know, will we have to do the tango as far as me bringing it outside every growing season, and then we do a 2-step back inside come fall, possibly winter. Maybe that is the dance that we have to do in order for this plant to live and survive, but not quite sure. Now, another plant, you guys, which I was super thrilled to actually see I don't know if I'll be able to maintain the color though once I bring it in, but this is the first leaf that is finally decided my Pariso Verde. I think, posted it on my Instagram because I was so shocked. Look, you guys, look at this leaf. Now, this is the thing, I can't get any better inside my house than sunlight. Who can beat sunlight but the Lord himself, right? But see, all of the leaves was looking like this. And this leaf was the leaf, no, I take it back. This leaf was the leaf that grew when it was outside. And then this one just emerged, and it's not even hardened off yet. Well, one thing I noticed is this cocoa coir moss pole, and look at that, you guys. The plant grew into the cocoa coir. So it's actually, look, it's actually stuck in there. So I don't know what that means, if that's just going to help promote a bigger growth, because it has been giving me these aerial roots that's kind of just growing around. So if it grows into the pole, it grows into the pole. But I just wish all the leaves was actually like this. And will this change back once I bring it into my house? Who knows? It probably will. I will try my best to put this plant completely underneath of a grow light. But this was the main reason why I had brought this plant, because I wanted to because I love the color, but who knew that the variegation was not stable on the plant. So once again, you live and you learn. So on to the next. I have my Hoya Hindu rope. It's not very that big of a specimen, but it has definitely grown tremendously for me, you guys. And one of the things I'm going to try to do, I'm not sure, because I think I did a video showing you guys of the plants that I brought out here. If I have any photos of what they might have looked like before I brought them out here, I'll try to show you so that you can see some kind of comparison. But if memory serves me correct, I believe all of this is new growth, and this stump has started to actually come out, as well as I've seen growth on this one as well. So I'm super excited about it, because it is a slow grower, but it seems to sped up in growth once I brought it outside. My next update, you know I've been raving about my daggone croton and the troubles and pitfalls, and like I was actually on my last leg with this, and I just decided to bring it outside. This literally had probably no stems at all, maybe one, and I was losing them left and right. So far since I've been outside, this is what I've been able to bring back. It's not where I want it to be yet. It's nowhere near as full and lush as it was, but I am happy. I'm feeling a little confident. I'm hoping though that my only fear with this plant, you guys, is that, let me just show y'all this leaf. Gorgeous, isn't it? But my only fear with this plant is that it's not going to like my indoor environment at all, even though I've had this for I think this plant for 3 years, and I was successfully able to grow it inside my home for 2 years before it started giving me all these problems. So I don't know if it's going to take a shock, because it's been getting pretty much full sun for a few hours throughout the day. Now I'm going to bring it into my home and just have it as close to the window as possible. I don't know if I'll be able to maintain the integrity of this plant, but if it does die, you know, so be it at this point, because I've definitely done all I could do to keep this plant alive. And I may actually, I'm just checking this woody stem. I don't think it has any more life. So I probably will cut that off, and hopefully that will promote some branching. Not sure, but like I said. Now this one is the next plant I'm going to show you is my Ficus Chivrion. I had it out here in the beginning of the growing season, and then it was taking a tremendous hit or dive. It didn't like the environment. I don't know if it was getting acclimated, but I was too scared to leave it out here to find out. So I brought it back inside, and then I said, okay, it wasn't doing anything, and it's really still not doing anything, but I did want to point something out. I brought it back outside, and it seemed to have acclimated to the environment. I just haven't had it under too much intense sun. But what I've noticed is these small leaves finally started emerging out of it. So I don't know if they're going to get bigger or what the case may be, but I would love for this plant to get a little bit taller. Um, but I'm a patient person when it comes to my plants, so I'll just wait it out. Yeah, I think I have just two more that I wanted to show you guys, which I'm happy, and they're both my ficuses as well. This is the regular ficus, you guys, which I think has shown tremendous progress because it was growing nicely. And you gotta keep in mind, this is the regular ficus, you guys. Please keep in mind when I brought this plant, it was a baby plant. It was literally in a 2-inch pot. I've had it for almost going on 3 years now, and we had got to a point where the leaves was getting big and it stopped. It stopped right here, and I had pinched it to promote growth. I pinched it, and I believe one leaf may have grew, but then it fell off, and so then I believe I chopped it again while I had it out here, and ever since I did that, it branched off, you guys. And all of this right here that you see, all this at the top, is the new growth, and the leaves are very beautiful, as you can see, and it's just been growing. So all this new growth, so it's definitely loving it outside. And also too, I want to show you, I had two rubies babies that was planted in here, came together like that, and the roots are so intertwined with one another. I don't think I can actually separate it. I tried. I was too scared I was going to damage the plant, so I just let it be. But those plants also grown, and let me show you what they look like. Look at that. I'm really impressed with it because, like I said, it was extremely short, and I have like 3 plants growing in here. Look at the leaf. So red, so beautiful. Man, this is just going to be a nice pot when it really grows up. So super excited about the plant growth there. And the last and final plant of the day, and I'm taking just one quick survey of my plants. Actually, I do want to show this one because this one has really grown too, and the color has really came out in this. This one is my Hoya and Cressida variegata. Look, guys, it's done a great job. Look at the color. It has grown fast. Keep in mind, this was also, it still is in a 2-inch planter, and look at the leaves. Stunning, right? Beautiful, gorgeous. I love my Cressida. I have my regular one, and then I have this one. Both of them are spectacular growers in my personal opinion, but that marbling on there is amazing, right? So I'm hoping that I'll be able to maintain the color inside the home. This didn't give me that much issues inside the home, so I don't think that it will when I bring it back in. And now I'm going to show you my last one, which is the Ficus Ruby, where this one really started growing. And I had this plant in my home for, I say, about a year and a half now. And it's finally starting to grow now, which I'm so excited about that. But check it out. All where you see the red is the new growth that has transpired since I put it out here. Look at that. And let me see if I can show y'all. See that? Look at that. New growth coming out of there. That new growth coming out of there. And there's 2 plants in here, and both of them seem to have activated into the growth. And I'm not mad at it. So now it's starting to get a good size. I'm feeling really good about it. So, oh man. So I definitely learned, you guys, that putting your plants outside can help stimulate some growth and promote healthy growth. Will I do it again next season? Heck yeah, I will, because I'm liking what I'm seeing. Will I try different plants or bring more of them out here? I just might. I'm not sure yet. This has been pretty much manageable, so I don't know. I was thinking about doing I had some other ideas brewing around in my head that I may want to try, but I'm going to have to wait until next season, and then we can find out together. So this pretty much wraps up this video, you guys. I just wanted to bring you guys along, do a little bit of chores, do a little bit of chit chat as far as what I'm trying to do to acclimate my plants back into the environment. Another thing that I did want to share, you guys, some people usually say, you know, you want to have them in the light and then bring them underneath the shade before you bring them indoors. The only plant I actually see me doing is the ones that I may have had in full shade. But then again, I don't even know if I will, because I didn't acclimate them honestly for me. And like I said, take what I say as a grain of salt. For me, I did not do any of that 1, 2, 3 step process. I just put them outside. And I figured I have this awning, I have this beautiful big tree in the back that's provide a lot of shade, as y'all can see from the side, from behind me, where it's getting that nice subtle shade. I don't think it was so harsh and so super bright that it caused that much of a problem. So I'm just gonna, for the most part, just bring them in. I don't really think I'm gonna acclimate it. Most of these are pretty much in my sunroom, where I try my best to maintain that right amount of temperature and heat in there during the winter time. I don't think it's going to take a hit, and if it does, hey, like I said, you live and you learn. But this pretty much wraps up this video, you guys. Keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do, and you love listening to planty things, definitely subscribe to this channel. Push those thumbs up. Any support you guys can give me, I appreciate it. And you enjoy your day wherever you are in the world. And until next time, guys, much love. Bye.